Well, hello everyone. JB Mathers here for Humboldt All-Axess. It is our post-auction edition. And hey, Coach Prince, Heather, Josie, you guys killed it at the auction. Another record-breaking edition. And we'll talk to Nick Pettit, our year 3 athletic director, coming right up on today's show. Joining me as well, Megan Corriea, as the Lumberjacks are going to be star killers on the diamond again. We're going up high with Michael Payan and rounding it out on the water with Coach Weise. Athletic Director Nick Pettit joining us, Humboldt All-Axess, and AD Nick Pettit, you got to be feeling good. Great night on Saturday.
Yeah.
40th annual sports auction, which is nuts to think about because I think about how many I've attended, been a student at, or interviewed, or take your pick. But the moral of the story was energy was great, and the funds were better.
Seriously, yeah, we had a great night. The energy was super high, and this is my third one since I've been here, and the place was hopping. There was an energy about it that was really cool, and we did have the best MC in the county. I said that. I mean, he kept us rolling. We were a little bit over schedule, but I won't blame you for that.
Thank you.
I'll blame myself. But no, it was a great event. Seeing the community come out and support us, and our staff does a tremendous job putting this event on. It takes a lot of work. And that showed, it proved itself valuable because it's a great night and they did a great amount of work and really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of key, right? You and I know within a sense of how much work goes into it. More so, NG, but obviously, the people on boots on the ground, how hard it is. But I think the best part is for the people who bought a ticket, they just showed up, had fun. It was a great event, spent some dollars, and then they can go talk about it. Yeah, they don't have to know how hard that was.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't want them to know, but there's a lot of work that went into it, and really proud of the results. And it was a great night of giving, and the community comes out and supports things like that, and that's what Lumberjack Athletics is all about. And we'll continue to do it moving forward, year 41 next year, and mark your calendars and come back out and support us next year. Hopefully about 6 weeks in, we're always like, oh man, we're gonna sell all the tables, and of course then it sells out.
Right.
Like it always does. But really good time, and it was a good week, frankly, with Giving Day. We're up to around $200,000 collectively for a week, so that's a good week's work raising funds for these student athletes scholarships.
Let's ask. Yeah, I want to ask the question. So that money goes from alumni, sponsor. Anyways, it goes from the giver's wallet. Where does it go after that?
Well, it goes over into the foundation, and then we have access to those funds to use for scholarships, and that's what we use it for, is to fund these student athlete scholarships, and that's huge. So that gives our coaches the ability to go out and recruit and offer scholarships to student athletes and come here and compete.
Which is good for you, good for business. I made the comment when I was up there on stage, from the fan perspective, look, year 3, finally getting that consistency back at athletic director, which the program has lacked since athletic director Dan Collin stepped away. It's kind of a turnstile. You stepped in there, you more than plugged that gap, building your own legacy now here, but also the auction's gotten bigger and better each year, but more importantly, I think, Nick, winning is coming along with it. You got to be feeling really good. I know, you look at the basketball season, which, I've got an affinity for because I'm boots on the ground for that, but with what happened in the fall and with Grant's run, and then obviously what rowing is doing right now, softball's right in the mix of things, and we're going to have, talking a little track and field later. There's some good things to talk about when it comes to Humboldt Athletics.
Yeah, there's some really good momentum right now and exciting. We have great people here and great coaches. I said that in my remarks Saturday night. We're winning in the classroom at a high level and trying to get these student athletes to get their degrees. That's what they're here to do. But we're also competing on the field and in the court too. And that translates to winning in the fundraising. So we're kind of, those 3 facets, we're doing pretty well right now, but there's a lot of work that goes into that, and kudos to my staff for all the work that they do. I want to give them the credit, but it was a great fall, great winter. Looking to see how spring turns out. Softball's plugging along really well right now. Tough series coming up in San Marcos, but they're playing well, and track's doing well. Rowing, they're always going to push towards that national championship, and looking forward to traveling with them again out east to watch that. So
when the coaches come to you, I know their first request is money. After money, what do you find is a common denominator that the coaches want from you in this program?
Well, money can mean a lot of things. It can mean operational dollars. It can mean,
salaries, scholarships.
Personnel is a big one. And making sure they have good assistants and they're able to take care of their staff. But yeah, and then building up a team of administrators that can support them too is important to make their jobs their jobs are very hard. And they're some of the best educators on campus. I said that Saturday night, and I say it all the time because it's true. And trying to help them out administratively so they're not burdened trying to run around and do a bunch of things. They can focus on coaching and educating the athletes.
Nick, it is year 3, and it's been nice having that consistency and you build something. Are you in it for the long haul here?
I was telling somebody this the other day. It's like the longer, and they told me at first, and I was like, you're absolutely right. It's the longer, I had an affinity for Humboldt when I first moved here, but the longer you're here, the more you enjoy it, and the less you want it. It does. And the community, I mean, we have great stuff going on at the university right now. Our enrollment's going up, the poly transition's taking effect, and it's just it's a great time to be a Lumberjack. So to answer your question, no, I'm not looking. Yeah, it's great here.
All right, we want a full head of gray before he decides to walk away. I don't think Dan Collins gray yet either. So hey, go Jackson. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, JB.
Back after this. My next guest has been hiding from me for quite a while. Good news is, Coach, you got a lot of great players who are also great interviews. Coach Megan Corriea joining us here, softball. Talk about this team you assembled, because I'm seeing the scoreboard. You guys are winning more than you're losing, and then just getting to know these group of girls. They've got energy, they've got personalities, they seem to like each other, and obviously they're competitors.
And they've got grit.
And they've got grit.
Yeah, and they love to win at home, which has been pretty great.
When you have, now that you finally mixed in
I
something,
know, right? Right.
25-game road trip to start.
Right, which is something that we've been talking a lot about. It's been fun watching them because obviously you've seen, I think we were 11 games on the road that we lost by 1 run. And as you know, Maggie White will tell you a ton of times, like, it's best to be home, like, get the last at bat. So we've been able to do that at home, and it's given the crowd something to cheer about, and it's been a lot of fun. They've really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, I mean, being at home just got to be nice, not only from the fans, sleeping in your own
bed,
no planes, trains, and automobiles, no Waba Grill or Soup Plantation, where, I don't know, most teams like have a go-to spot.
They are Chick-fil-A type of people.
I knew I liked this team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A for the win. Okay, San Marcos this week. It doesn't really get a lot easier because, by the way, you're on the road.
Yeah.
The number 3 team in the nation.
Number 1 team in the nation.
Oh, number 1. Well, I got bad intel from Drew Gordon. Don't tell him.
They're number 1. It came out yesterday.
They're really good. You guys can argue about it, looking off the side of the camera, but trust me, they're good. Coach.
They're very good. Yeah, here we are. So, no, I think the team is ready and they're prepared, and I think they're quite happy about being on the road.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd rather be on the road than get those wins.
They have to work the auction and all that stuff.
Yeah, all those things, right?
And
yeah. And all the other things that come along with being at home and being responsible for those things, but now they just get to concentrate on beating San Marcos.
It's funny, all the years in getting to know the different coaches. Like Coach Benno Jackson, of course, you love being at home, but she likes the fact that when the girls get on the bus, they're locked in. There's
distractions.
There's less distractions on the
100%.
road.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I think that's why they're excited to be on the road, especially with this series where no distractions, just can focus on winning and playing hard and competing. And we were in the classroom this morning watching game film, and they all had their notes out, and they already had a list of notes that they wanted to talk about, not just what we were going to see. So. Okay,
well, what's some of the stuff they want to know about? Because rarely do you hear about film session going the other direction. So what are they peppering Coach with? Because obviously, look, this tells me more about this team. They not only want to go on the road and be competitive, they want W's.
Yeah, I mean, they were bringing to our attention like what she throws in this count, what she's going to throw in this count, what she does when she's ahead, what she does when she's behind, all the things, and they went through every single pitcher like that. So it was.
So how much when you're breaking down the game film, do you get technical or try to call stuff or predict stuff when the game actually goes? or was it come to game time? You're a little. I mean, I don't know. Are you more hands off? Is it a player by player, pitcher by pitcher scenario?
Player by player, pitcher
Okay.
by pitcher, definitely. Yep, because they've all got their different tendencies, and if we got a good matchup, we know that, and we know how to work through that. If that makes sense.
Well, that I imagine there's certain players too, like Gifford at this point of her career
Yeah.
probably don't have to do a lot of hand holding.
No, not a lot of hand holding, and usually it's they come to me to tell me what their game plan is.
Okay.
At this point in there, yeah, definitely a lot of Gibby, Alyssa Ramirez, and Shelby Shanks are like, "Here's my plan. I've already got it." So.
Now we had Bella on the other day. What are
You
her and her
did.
sister like?
They're
'Cause
amazing.
I got to meet the other half now.
You do, you do.
You know, the twin story was just awesome. And B, there's A, there's B.
Oh, and then if you ever get a chance to meet their mother, who is absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but she was head of the Sacramento Sheriff's Department for years. Yes.
goodness.
Yeah. So she is a good mix of. They are a good mix of their mother, that's for sure. And so they take a lot of pride in what they do, and they definitely get that from her. Yeah.
What does it take to be successful against San Marcos on the road this weekend?
Just sticking with our own game plan, which is what we talked about this morning, and just being us and not going out and doing too much, just doing what we know how to do and how to do it well.
And with that said, I assume as we get down to the back stretch here, you're making the playoff push.
Yes.
As you step back, I know for you and the team, it's it's the game right here, right now. But when you give it that 30,000-foot look, what do the Jacks need to do to make sure they are in the mix come postseason time?
I think that stays the same. We just have to keep within ourselves and not make the moment too big, which is what they brought up this morning, right? They were like, we can't make the moment too big. We just got to go pitch by pitch, inning by inning, and just get it done. And of course, being home, we're going to be on the road for the eight out of the 12 games. So we've got to make sure that we just take care of business.
Get it done. Okay.
Yeah.
The Jacks are doing what the best right now? Should ask her an easier one.
I
what do you
know.
want to fix
There's
the
so
most?
many
'Cause
things.
I know the way coaches think. What do you want to fix?
I
the most?
don't.
What do
You
you
know
guys
what?
need to improve?
It's not about fixing. It's
Okay.
just about maintaining.
Okay.
Because we are playing well right now.
All right.
Yeah. Being consistent.
Okay.
Yep.
By the way, I'm going to be extra fat today, so I want the spicy chicken, the regular chicken, and the mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A. Okay.
Got it. I'm on it.
Good luck on the road this weekend. Don't be a
thanks.
stranger.
I won't. But they're better at this than I am.
They're pretty good.
They
They're
are.
pretty good. Back after this.
Yeah.
Going up, Michael Payan joining us here. Pole vaulter extraordinaire for the Jacks. It's been a while. Last year we talked to you. You were the sensation, the youngster. What's it like getting it done as the veteran out there now? And clearly you're not taking anybody by surprise.
It feels really nice. Coming off of such a good season, it was honestly like a lot of pressure for me to be like, oh, I have to follow this up with even greater performance. But pressure makes diamonds. So I've been having a great season, yeah.
Talk about funneling that pressure so you didn't let yourself or your expectations down.
No, coming into it, I kind of didn't give myself any expectations because I was just like, I'm just going to stay focused on me, and what I do best is relieving that pressure on myself to go out there and perform at my absolute peak.
So when you're out there and pressure, well, athletes always talk about pressure, and some fold under it, what I would probably do, and some thrive underneath it. So what's it like when the pressure's on, whether maybe it's you've missed a couple jumps that you should have had already, or it's the stiff competition, or whatever it may be. Just tell us about that when your number's called and pressure's on, and embracing that and getting it done and getting over that bar.
I'd say I'm just a big fan of pressure.
Okay.
When I feel it in competition, that's when I know it's going to be a good competition. If I feel like I'm being pressured to push myself higher or get on a bigger pole, I know that's when my adrenaline is high, my body's going to be at its absolute prime, and that's when I get it done.
On the flip side, are there events where maybe you're not feeling the juice? Do you get a little concerned if the pressure's off?
If the pressure's off,
Yeah.
I do get a little concerned sometimes when I'm just way too relaxed at a meet. I'm like, wow, I feel absolutely nothing when I'm standing here at the back of the runway looking at this bar. I have this fat pole in my hand that I'm not sure I can get in on, and I feel absolutely nothing. That is a kind of a sucky feeling. It's no fun.
What makes you, well, let me qualify. What is your strengths as a pole vaulter? I mean, I imagine there's a lot of technicality that goes into it, but also a lot of athleticism.
I'd say that my biggest strength is, well, my speed and my mentality going into it.
What would be something about pole vault people just don't understand or don't realize when they watch? Because I guess, layman's terms, it looks athletic and technical. I mean, it does look hard, but I mean, what are some of the nuances that people may be a little surprised about pole vault?
I think the surprising part is realizing how much your availability to new poles can be a detriment to you. If you don't have the next pole up and you're just blowing through your biggest poles and you have nothing to go up from there, then you're pretty much limited. That's a big nuance that I don't think a lot of people understand, is that.
Okay, well, tell us about the differences between the poles and what you're looking for. Obviously, I assume there's a height to go up certain, and then, I mean, we're talking bend, flex, weight, and how do you decide a pole? Is it jump specific? And then how do you get new poles? I mean, look, when I need new golf clubs, I gotta fund it or figure it out.
Yeah.
Is Sarah hooking you up, getting all these, the school? Because I doubt there's a limitless supply.
No, there is not a limitless supply. So when I'm looking for new poles, I'm looking for brand, which I vault on Essex personally.
Okay.
I love them. They're a little harder to come by, so you kind of have to have some connects. Sarah's helped me out with that, but mainly I have a lot of connects from high school and just making friends in the pole vault world. It's a very close-knit community. So looking for, am I ready for the next pole? Am I ready for the next length-wise or flex-wise, as you said? And balancing all of that with what's actually available to me currently.
So we're in the middle of the season. I'm sure you're probably just trying to fine tune things. In the off season, when you want to build something or get better, how do you marry or manage your time between bigger, stronger, faster, and technical perfection with the pole?
Yeah, managing my off season, in the fall, I'm mainly focusing on getting faster and getting stronger. It's a lot less technical days, so I vault right now 2 times a week, including not including meets. But in the fall, I'm vaulting maybe once or twice a week, depending on how I'm feeling. But from a lot shorter run, from a shorter approach, so I use less of my intensity and body on practicing and put it more into putting on strength and speed.
Sky's the limit, okay? No pun intended. What's your best jump this year, and what do you think realistically you've got in you in this campaign?
Okay, so my best jump from this year so far has been 535 meters, which is 17 feet 6 inches. That expands upon 530 from last season, which is 17.5. So what I'm looking for this season is closer to 550 or 560, which is above 18 feet. That is really what I'm pushing for.
And what do you think? Have you done that in practice, or are you better in practice, or are you better in meets?
Oh, definitely better in meets.
Okay.
Because yeah, I mean, I can really harness in meets again the pressure of just competing into bigger poles. So in practice, it's mainly just focusing on what's the biggest pole I can push this practice. How close does that get me to moving up to the next set? But right now, I'm really looking to advance from 15 7-foot poles to 16-foot poles. That's my big jump.
Final question. What is the goal as far as how far you can take this, putting the height aside? Where do you think, if you attain those goals, what are we talking about as far as hardware is concerned?
We're talking about the highest I want to get is Olympic trials. So we're looking at 560, 565-ish will get me into the Olympic trials. And that has been my main goal ever since I started at Humboldt, was to be a D2 athlete competing on my own, very autonomously, to get to the Olympic trials.
1,000% awesome. Michael, great job.
Thank you.
Going high after
Thank
these
you.
messages. Last, definitely not least, Coach Weise. Coach, appreciate you coming by as always. Last weekend off, at least from the water, we have been talking about the auction. Talk about for the coaches your responsibilities when it comes to, I'm sure, table, selling tickets, getting items. What are the expectations for you guys?
Yeah. We bought a couple of tables. We got some tables for the rowing group. Our team does an incredible job of getting things for the auction. We got 3 artists that made items, donated items. I think one vase went for like $250. Someone made a big painting. I think went for like $400. So our athletes get really involved, and they usually create baskets and help with the auction as well. So it's kind of a team effort with everybody.
Well, I think I saw during the live auction, Coach Meg, somebody cleaned out her wine cellar.
Yes, they cleaned. Someone went and robbed a wine cellar. They did find it. Funny story is they grabbed a $500 bottle of wine inadvertently. That didn't end up in the auction. She caught that before. Like don't take that one.
That is a Bordeaux from France. I think that's how. Talk about Coach Meggs and her. Obviously, she's a legend in the department, and just your guys' relationship, and I don't know, just what it means to her to have you around and vice versa.
For sure. I actually knew Robin before I came here. Okay. She is the best friend of my mentor, BB Bryans, who was the head coach. She hired me as an assistant back in 1997, and they're best friends. So I've known her for quite a while. And that's part of when I interviewed here, I called her. What is it all about in Humboldt? So she's been involved in our program, and I really love. She comes back and visits. She helps with the home regatta, as is Pat Highland, our former assistant coach. He comes back and helps out. So I love it that it's a big family. People are welcome back and really come back and help us.
She's got a wild story of how she got involved with crew rowing. How did you get involved? Where did you begin?
I started rowing in high school. I was a wrestler.
Where were we at? Where'd you
and
grow
this
up?
was at Groseal High School near Detroit.
Nice.
And the rowing club was going bankrupt. They wanted to add some high school teams so they could make some money, and they came to our high school. So I thought this would be a great filler sport. And here I am 30, 40 years later.
So what was that like? I mean, obviously both disciplined. Wrestlers are disciplined, and you have to be disciplined. I'm sure it's not a lot of high school kids, I'm sure, who are non-wrestlers or involved in a crew that don't want to get up that early and put work in.
Yeah, we started at 5, so we were up at 4:30 going. It was an early day.
I imagine it gets a little chilly in Michigan at the beginning of the season.
It was cold.
Hey, we're going to go with the sled today instead of the
cold.
boat because the lake's frozen.
And then I started coaching it. I went to Michigan State. I was a club rower there, but there was no coach. And so I rowed 2 years in high school, so I have all that experience. So I started coaching.
I mean, was it that when you were coaching? Yeah. Did you know, okay, this is what I want to do?
I wanted to be a teacher. Okay. So I was a high school teacher for a year, but I was coaching all through college. I was coaching the team, and I just loved it. I wanted to get back to it.
A lot of teachers are coaches and vice versa. Do they go hand in hand? How similar are those?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're developing, you're trying to get people to grow and learn. So yeah, I use a lot of my teacher training dealing with practice plans and just that whole sense of planning and organization. It really, they work hand in hand.
And then also, like many coaches, but I would think yours more so than a lot, getting different personalities, different athletes on the same page. Talk about that mix and trying to learn your athletes and knowing how to connect.
Sometimes it's not easy, right? You're trying to get 8, 9 people to work as a unit. Some people are more stubborn than others, and the biomechanics of some people are tighter than others. Some people are looser than that. So you're just trying to get everybody to row the same way. It's very that's the hardest part of my job. Is just trying to get everybody to do it. Right? That's right.
All right, let's talk about this weekend. Where the Jacks at, and how much closer are we getting to crunch time?
Yeah, we're getting crunch time. So we're going to Vancouver Lake, Washington, which is just on the north side of Portland, right over the border. And we race. There's some D3 teams there, but mostly it's at Central Oklahoma, who is one of our rivals, and we beat them in the 8 2 weeks ago. They beat us in the 4. And those are the 2 NCAA events. So we get the 4 is looking for another crack at them, and the 8 it'll be a good test for them too.
Do you guys have a rival? Is there somebody? Is it Western Washington, Seattle, Central Oklahoma, Emory? I mean, when you're out there and you kind of, you may chat it up with other teams, but then it's like.
Anybody that's across from us. Western Washington is obviously a big one. Embry-Riddle, but they're all good. Like Seattle Pacific has an 8 that's working well. We get along with all the coaches. The coaches, it's a really good camaraderie amongst the group, but you're pushing to be the best, so everybody's looking and pushing
you're in a
each
better
other.
mood when you beat them, right? I mean,
Well, for sure. Yeah.
Are you taking your own boats this weekend? Please tell me.
We
about
are
renting
taking our own boats,
Okay.
no renting boats, no more borrowing
$199.5,
equipment.
let's go.
Yes, we're going up there with our trailer.
What do you want? I know you want to be as fast as possible, but this is not the time to be at your best. You
Yeah.
still want to peak further out. What is your primary goal this weekend
Yeah,
as a team?
well, we just need to keep working on racing. So part of it is racing it's a weird, you have to be internal with a little bit of an external information. So if you're thinking of a rower, like they should pick a spot on the rower's back in front of them, they should feel nothing else, see nothing else the entire time. Is the boat working? Is it going as fast as it can? And the coxswain is kind of the external eyes. They're the ones saying, hey, UCO is here, Lewis and Clark, who are going to be racing this week, is over here, like how much? So they're giving them external stuff, and the rowers just have to deal with the internal. Can they make the boat go fast and not get distracted?
We need Coach to break down some game film before this, and I do want to know the
Yeah.
intricacies of how this works. In the meantime, let me know when Coach Meg's is ready to break over that wine. When the
sounds
season's
good.
Over. Good luck this weekend,
Maybe
Coach.
she's saving that bottle for me. I don't know.
See everyone next week.
Thanks.